Imagine you were told that the painful chronic disease you have cannot be treated by medicine. They tell you that you will be in a lot of pain for the rest of your days, and they say painkillers can help ease the pain a little, but they inform you about how costly the pills can be. They then tell you there's another option that can help you feel very little pain compared to the painkillers, but then they inform you that your state still has it illegalized, even though there are no negative side effects that have been found. This substance in question is marijuana. Marijuana has many uses, but the main use it serves is to ease pain. According to an article by Peter Grinspoon published on the Harvard Health website, he states, while marijuana isn't strong enough for severe pain, it is quite effective against chronic pain. This is not the only benefit from marijuana, it's also much safer to use than opioids, which are the standard pain medication prescribed to patients. Marijuana is a drug that no one has ever overdosed from, but opioids have a much different story to them. According to an article by Matt Schneiderman, published on Healthline, he states, the CDC reports that overdose deaths of opioids have quadrupled since 1999. In 2015, more than 15,000 Americans died from overdoses involving prescription opioids. It is time for America to realize what it is doing to its citizens by putting out the highly addictive opioids in place of marijuana, because our history labeled it a terrible drug, when in fact, marijuana has been used for hundreds of years in America only to be caught up in lies made by people who do not approve of the drug. Marijuana has been used by Americans for many years. It has had an interesting history of when it was first starting to catch popularity to when it was deemed a demonic drug, and then nowadays where some states have realized how beneficial this misunderstood drug can be. It starts back to the Prohibition era when alcohol was banned in America. Many people drank alcohol back then, but were then scared by the fact that they would be labeled a criminal for enjoying a drink. Marijuana came in and served as the poor people's alternative to alcohol. Many poor Americans, such as blacks or Hispanics, would use it. This caused some states in the 1930s to prohibit the use of the drug. Instead of marijuana being completely prohibited in the country as a whole, it instead had picked up headway with the new advance in technology. It was being produced at super fast rates. This caused marijuana to be targeted by America as a whole. Many people made propaganda against the drug, one of them being a man named William Hearst. This man owned much of the media and newspaper factories back then, and he started to slander marijuana. According to a documentary by Chris Rice published on YouTube, he states, Hearst insisted that Mexican immigrants that smoked cannabis would violently rape women. This marked a turning point in the way America viewed marijuana. People were being fed lies by people who deemed marijuana not right, even though the benefits of marijuana far outweighed the few risks. This led to a church group creating a tale against marijuana that claimed consuming the drug would turn people savagely violent. According to a book written by John Chastain, a man named Harry Anslinger was appointed head of the newly created National Bureau of Narcotics. This man believed that the use of marijuana was wrong and dangerous. He was a very racist man in a racist time who disliked the fact that blacks and Hispanics were using marijuana. This sparked the beginning of the end of marijuana being legal in the United States. The Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 was created to prohibit the use of the drug, just like Prohibition prohibited the use of alcohol before it. This act made all forms of cannabis illegal. This act has been proven to be driven by racism. It is proven by the times and how people in America viewed the drug as evil because of the main audience that used the drug. Many people were taught to hate a drug that was never harmful or dangerous to them. These people only made them think it was dangerous so they can target the minorities by trying to arrest them over something else. All of the history regarding cannabis has led it to be viewed as a harmful drug just like others. Cannabis is nowhere near as dangerous as cocaine or meth, or the hallucinogens that people view as bad. Cannabis has many benefits going for it. People can smoke it just as recreational use, and it has been proven to not be as addictive as cigarettes. Cigarettes are more harmful than cannabis because of how many chemicals that exist in a single cigarette. Now, I do not think that cannabis should be used by people about to operate a car just like alcohol, but I do think it should be legalized because if alcohol is legal, then it should be too. This is because alcohol is a much more dangerous substance than cannabis. There are many bodily problems associated with alcohol consumption, and it is highly more addictive. One of the many problems is that it is known to correlate to hypertension with heavy use. According to a journal article written by Haija Lee, He states, "We found that baseline alcohol consumption increased the risk of incident hypertension. Hypertension is a bodily condition to where the arteries harden up because of high blood pressure, and this causes people to have heart attacks in their early ages." This is just one of many studies done over alcohol and its effects on the human body. I believe that cannabis should be legalized in all 50 states because of the benefits that it holds medically and how it does not have the disadvantages of a drug that is already illegal. This and all the other points I've discussed make me believe that marijuana was targeted by those who believe that it should be made illegal to target the minority, even though they knew there was no extreme risk associated with cannabis use. I believe that the benefits that it holds medically should be reason alone for the states to legalize the drug. Now I challenge you to think of a time that alcohol may have negatively affected you or a family member. Now, if you have been around cannabis, think about an experience that was negative with that. I think the people who have had real experience with the drug will agree that it is not something to worry about compared to the likes of the other terrible drugs paired with.